Not as bad. Anyway, here we go. Mega random start. Let's forget about what I was talking about. Mega random start. Teutons as well, which makes it very interesting. I'll talk about it a bit. And in the blue, we have the Viper. Now, I do have team colors on. Can I go without team colors? Yes, I think I can. So, in the yellow trunks is the Viper. Then in the blue, we have Fire. And you can see it's a monastery start in the castle age, which is very helpful usually. And then 2 scouts. Now, this map is crazy. It is crazy because if you look, this water out here is pretty much useless. There's no deep fish here. You can see a few. Players are probably going to need to dock, but also they're going to need to cross over to fight. And I'm looking at how many crossings there are. It looks like there's one small one here, which Fire could wall off. And one in the middle as well, which Viper could wall off as well. Now, if you start with the monastery, you can make a monk to try and collect relics. However, do you see any relics here? You do not. Water control is normally important on maps like this. However, when you cannot cross your ships over to these other ponds, it's going to be kind of annoying to have to just build new docks to make a navy. So I honestly don't know what to say now. And the players probably don't know what to say either, and that's the point of Mega Random and Castle Age Start. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, and these are the best of the best. They have to adjust. By the way, you'll notice that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is down here. And that is my Christmas mod. Now, kings in the Christmas mod will be Santa Claus, and I showed that off earlier today. If you missed that, you should stop by on the 20th. I will be streaming for 12 hours, and we'll have some amazing Regicide games. Actually, was just talking to MBL, so I think MBL is going to sign up for the big boy games. But yeah, this will be nice. The one thing I don't like about the map, and this is something you'll find often with Mega Random, is the lack of wood. Fire will run out eventually, and all of his, like his main wood, if you could call it that, is far forward. Now, it's going to be difficult for Viper to pressure here. I mean, if Viper comes out with ranges, for example, and Fire goes water, he can push him away. If Fire just walls there, he will be able to push him away. But I realize I don't have the scores up right now, guys. I just now realized that, but it is 0-0. And this has just begun. Now, I'm going to have to fix the scores in between games, but looks like Viper has now docking. And where is he going to? You know what? This is also a very good location for Viper to dock. I mean, look at this. Can I get a Viper map hacks in the chat from everybody? We have 636 people here. I mean, somebody is probably not going to say it, but I want 635 of you at least to say Viper map hacks, because look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deep fish, and his dock cannot be touched. That is Viper map hacks for you. Meanwhile, Fire has... he's actually sending out a monk, which Viper may spot. Actually, very good engagement for Fire. He's killed that scout, but Fire needs to dock as well, I think, because the fishing is just going to be huge. This would be a good location for Fire, actually. Viper would have to, I guess, come out here to dock to disrupt that area. But Fire is building a dock, and it looks like it's a little bit towards Viper, a little bit more towards Viper than I would have liked. You'll notice that Fire was trying to build a dock here. He already walled this off, so his villagers running around. And now he's gonna wall up. But already, and I forgot to add the fishing ship thing to the overlay too. Already you can see that Viper seems to be a little bit more decisive as now Fire comes down here to build the dock. I mean, Viper is already on 2 fishing ships. Now, when Teutons are involved, normally monks, they don't convert that easily, and when there's no relics out here, I don't think we're gonna see many monks. So my guess is Viper will probably just boom up as much as possible, but I don't think we're going to see much aggression with the monks on the front trying to collect relics or anything. Normally you'll see a couple monks come out, a couple scouts, a couple knights, and the scouts are so important, but Fire's just going to hold some map control down, and he actually will be able to harass Viper a bit with this monk. If you think about it, there's 9 range on the monk, and there's only 6 range on the TC, so I mean, Fire could just sit out here and annoy Viper all day. I think Viper is going to be going for... he's actually going for a stable now. And you can see his straggler trees are... well, can Fire see them? Yeah, Fire can see them. I wonder if Fire will palisade over the straggler trees to try and push Viper away. I don't know, but at this level you often see that because You know, Viper does not want to run out to this wood line. And in fact, he doesn't have a lot of wood either. He actually... Oh, Viper's wood situation is worse because his main wood's down there. And sometimes you'll see the palisade go over the forestry and the stragglers will be pushed away. But speaking of being pushed away, I mean, oh, that's very smart from Viper. Out of nowhere, he actually killed the monk and lost the scout, but he did kill that monk. But still, very messy play from the Viper. This does not look pretty for him, does it? He's going for a TC on the berries and the deer. Fire's still not really going aggressive. He's using his 3 scouts now to try and delay. And to be honest, this is really good from Fire. The scouts aren't hugely important to any fights. Not going to pick off any monks anymore. But if he can just harass as much as possible, that's great. And he might even get a Vil pick here. Fire very close to killing that villager. Now he's running away. Now Viper has committed to a stable. He doesn't have any gold to make another knight. He has had a messy eco, and if you remember the games between Winchester and Fire, Winchester and Viper, 9 times out of 10, the person who had the early map control in the mega random game would win. And right now, Fire's actually doing a better job at that. He has 5 more villagers. He does have 3 fishing ships, while there's 5 for Viper, so it's rather close. But Fire got his TC up earlier amongst that early pressure, and it was just scouts and a monk. Also, keep in mind that Viper was forced to make a stable that he will only use for 1 night. And Fire's probably feeling good about this one right now. He did the right thing, he walled up, so Viper's not going to be able to do anything with that knight either. And Fire, able to kill the scout there from Viper, but he's just going to run away. This is just smart thinking from Fire. I think we all know Viper is Viper, but how many people know Fire is Fire? That's the question. He's a tyrant player for a reason. And he's doing a smart thing with going with a Fire ship, interestingly enough. Wild Ducky, thank you for the resub, man. The Fire ship is just to protect his fishing, and he probably doesn't know how ridiculous this water is out here. Thanks for the woo-woos in the chat, guys. But there's another TC from Fire now, so let's talk about what we're going to see in the Imperial Age, because I think it will come in. Fire's going up to his 3rd TC. And if it's a Teuton's War, you almost expect hand cannons and halberdiers. Especially in the small choke points, you really want to have ranged units. Landing is not going to be too easy, but you could always see Fire land down here and go with some knights or something. Cavalier later on. Map control is going to be huge. I like the fact that Viper put a dock here. I assume he's going to fish for a bit, but if a player, for example, is able to hold both sides of the choke point, then the other guy's not going to be able to get across. But Fire is almost 10 Vils up, 11 Vils up right now on Viper, who's still on 2 TCs, going up to his 3rd TC. Now, if you type !CL in my Twitch chat, this won't work on YouTube, I have people doing it all the time, but if you type it in the Twitch chat, it'll link you to the standings and the information on this tournament. Fire, if he gets 3 wins, is in a great position, so Tato's probably hoping, praying that Viper is Viper here. But man, Fire seems to be off to a great head start. He has 12, 13 extra villagers every time I look. He still has 5 fishing ships. He's building another dock. The Viper is going to fish boom as well, but just wonder what the execution's going to be like, because normally, if Viper is behind, he's able to buy himself some time to figure things out. But it's mainly a boom game now. Viper will run out of these fish eventually, and then the fishing ships will be useless. I don't think we're going to see fish traps or anything, but holy cow, you guys abused that CL command. Oh man, I just look over and the chat spam was real. I wonder what Viper will do to buy himself some time. Fire's going to have more fish left. He's going to have 2 docks here. I feel like Viper is going to try and just get map control on water. He's putting up another dock. He's trying to get both sides. Now, he has a fire ship here, so he can disrupt Fire from doing anything too. This is going to be very, very nice. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a castle as well from Fire. It'd be a really smart move. He's actually sending out 3 monks. He's trying to get a forward wall. But if you look at the resources, I didn't touch on it too much except for the wood. There's a lot of gold and a lot of stone, so we can see a lot researched here. I think the wood is going to be the most important resource though, because both players have a lot of gold and stuff. Sneaky dock from Viper. I noticed Fire had a fire ship. It's now wandering up here. But that is a really nice placement for Viper if he wants to land or something. I think more than anything he's gonna have to just win water with his docks, because you can't land this. I mean, Fire's gonna see it. Sees everything. Now, I noticed this knight came up here. Viper's just trying to idle the economy right now. Fire's stonewalling up. Fire's trying to put himself in a position to beat Viper in the Imperial Age. Now the fire ships are coming out. Well, it's kind of obvious here. I like how Viper put a scout there to distract. Kind of obvious Viper is going to win that one, unless another fire ship comes out from Fire. And Fire's on his way to Imp. Now let's look at his wood. Well, should be enough there. This is what he needs to hold on to, though. Castle would do it, but seriously, I can see this game coming down to wood. There's a demo. Now, demos trade reasonably well. And there's Viper with the demo as well, and oh my gosh. Love to see demos. And this is actually going to be a little bit better for Fire now. Gonna take Viper's fishing ship, or fire ship away, sorry. I think Viper's just gonna try and run this away, go after some fish. Viper still not on his way up to the Imperial Age. However, he does have a lot more on stone, so I think he's going to go for a castle to try and allow himself the opportunity to do something in the Imperial Age. Where will he put the castle, I'm not sure, but you can see, I mean, these golds are right up against the water's edge. Now, actually, I talked about this a couple times. Fire would have to dock over here to access this, so that's not a concern for Viper right now. I did see a transport for Viper. I'm not sure what he's going to transport. I would like to see an attempt. That'd be really nice. In fact, Fire does have a gap up here that Viper could transport, and that would be the most epic thing. But still, he'd have to go across here, and he's going to have to redock for that transport to do much in that area. There's a siege workshop from Fire. He's going to go aggressive. And it looks like he has won the water now. He still has a villager lead, and if you look at the fishing ships, I mean, Viper's only tossed out a couple more, but Viper will be out of deep fish if he's not already. He has one over here. So you have to say Fire in game one has the advantage. Now the question is, what are the players going to choose to do? Fire has a ton of resources. He's probably going to click chemistry, and okay, so he's going to go hand cannons, navy, probably halberdiers as well, as some spears come out, and bombard cannons and traps, most likely. Now, Fire has not placed a castle yet. If he's able to get a castle up right here, that's going to be really difficult for Viper to deal with. Like, if there's a castle here from Fire, that allows himself to transport this way, that allows himself to transport this way, and I think this is a more important direction for Fire, seeing as there's a lot of wood and gold here for Viper. But Viper, he has placed his own castle here. He's trying to protect the front. He will probably be going bombard cannons to defend. And now he's walling this off. He is definitely scared of a transport. And he should be. But still, if Fire gets some map control here, he'll be in a good spot. The one thing I don't like from Fire is I don't see military. He's a 15 military. A lot of it's on water. I just think Fire should have done a little bit more with his advantage. If Viper is able to repair this castle like players at this level often do, he can definitely buy himself enough time. Fire has committed an awful lot to the middle as well, so if he loses those buildings, he loses this castle, that could be bad. This is getting to the point at 24 minutes where we need to pay attention, if you're not already. Because this castle for Fire can be ranged on the other side of the water by a Treb, and I'm guessing that Viper will do that. He has crenellations coming in. Crenellations is going to make these castles even more deadly. And there's the Treb now. Viper actually has some mangonels, which I find very interesting. I'm not sure what he's going to do with the mangonels. He might be going straight for Onager? Like Onager hand cannons? Because Onagers would take out the hand cannons from Fire, but I don't know, I didn't expect this on this map. Viper's still trying to wall off, and it looks like he has placed a dock, and he's going for a transport as well. He can't really, it's going to be a risky transport, but maybe he can do it. He might just be trying to transport his villager to a better location to get water control. Because again, if Viper gets water control somehow, right here, he can take all of this out. Assuming that castle goes down, but hand cannons, now we have bombard cannons from fire, pikemen. Basically what you do with this build order, and this is a similar build order you'll see in like Persians 1v1 sometimes when it's closed off, Koreans, things like that. The halberdiers counter the cavalier, which might be coming in, they just don't know. And then the hand cannons shred the halberdiers of the opponent, who might be doing the same thing. It's a trash slaying build. And you can see Onager's in for Viper now, and he is trying to go after this castle. Just, this area is so important for Viper. As I expected. Oh, the Onagers and the bombard cannons. As I expected, as Viper loses that Onager, and that Treb's still alive, Viper's gonna have to repair this, and that's why he's saving up a lot of stone. Look at Viper trying to come in with the Onagers. I don't get the decision to go Onagers. He's trying to micro that against bombard cannons. You can see the trebuchet actually killing a bombard cannon from fire, and Viper's now gonna micro down that Treb. Fire needs to pay attention. He's lost a Treb and he's lost a bombard cannon. He could have repaired that Treb earlier too. Then again, Fire still, I think, has an advantage with the map control, with the vill count. Siege Onager's coming in for Viper though. Wow, is he really going for Siege Onager? I wonder what's going through his mind. Like, why would he do this when he only has 3 of them? I don't know. We've seen how the bombard cannons can outrange the Siege Onagers. The one thing though is the SOs, which is the fancy abbreviation, they can kill bombard cannons, pretty much everything Fire has, so fast. And look at that! Crenellations really helping Viper out, almost killing the bombard cannon. If you look at the range difference, it's 12 range and on the bombard cannons and 13 range on the castle. So Viper, using his knowledge of the resources available to him, he might just push Fire back. And this just comes down to game knowledge and how comfortable are you under pressure as Viper now repairs this. He has 3 Trebs for Fire, and SO's gonna come in any moment now. But Crenellations is just such a wise move. Viper says sup. Why is he saying sup? Did I miss something here? Did I miss a sneak? I don't think so. I thought maybe Viper had saw a transport or something and said sup. But yeah, Crenellation's such a wise move. 8+1 range on the castle from Fire. But Siege Onager came in with the 1 Siege Workshop Viper had left. Still, this area is exposed. Fire's going for Cavalier now. Now, this is a nice switch, because if you look at what Viper has, it's castles on the front to hold, and nothing to defend the base of his trebuchets, bombard cannons, or Siege Onagers. So, Fire's gonna go Paladin now, or attempts to, and he's gonna try and get in close and pick those off. And if he can combine it with his trebuchets and bombard cannons behind, he can maybe take these castles down fast. But Viper is essentially camping right now. And he knows that even if Cavalier come in, those castles have murder holes, and those castles will do a lot of damage. This is very interesting, because you never see the murder holes and like Crenellations utilized at this level, or rarely see it. So I really like the move from Viper, even though it's peculiar. Viper is also researching Cavalier. Look how much gold Viper has. I can't help but feel that this is one of those Viper-esque moves where he just waits and waits and waits, lets his opponent waste his resources, stockpile the resources you have, and then push back. But it doesn't seem like Viper's interested in actually pushing himself. Teuton Castle outrange cannons. Yes, that is true. Only thing that can help Fire is the Trebs, and that's why he's added a couple more. But I mean, look at the amount of military Fire has. Thing is, Siege Onagers could do a lot of damage to that. Viper is researching plate barding. He's researching the Paladin upgrades, but he only has 1 stable. He's just going to try and defend this now. The castles are going down for Fire. He lost one, he'll lose two, as I expected because of where they were located. But now the push is coming in from Fire, and he's finding more castles. He's finding SOs. Cavalier coming in. Viper needs to quick wall this. He can't do it because the Halberdier went in, and that means the Siege Onagers can get focused down. One castle's already down. A huge push from Fire. If he takes out the castles, Viper will struggle. Viper's researching Paladin, but he doesn't really have any Paladins at all. Or Cavalier, rather. The Bombard Cannons and the Trebs will come in shortly. This is perfect for Fire. He takes out the front. Viper's going to need a response. Viper's building stables. Well, not fast enough. Not fast enough at all. He's researching Paladin, but he doesn't have any working stables. The castles will go down, and I think Fire is in a perfect position to take this game. But look at the Bombard Cannons. This is such a waste. You already saw it before, man. He's lost 6 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5. Man. Castles will go down. Still, Fire's in a good position. Fire's pushing out here now. And once this castle goes down, that means Fire can just walk right in. But the crazy thing is that Viper has so many resources, and he's going to have Paladin. He could actually push this back. He's just building another castle comfortably. So I'm getting all excited, but still, it's so hard to tell. Viper has kept his pop-up as well. He's still creating villagers. Look at the amount of gold Viper has. It's so hard to say he's comfortable, but yet he looks so comfortable. Now sending out a Siege Onager to kill 2 Trebs, so that means 5, 6 Bombard Cannons, 2 Trebs down now. And now Paladins for Viper. And Fire's got to be thinking, what do I have to do? Like, seriously, I've killed 3 castles. I pushed into his base. What more do I have to do? Viper stockpiling resources. Fire running out of space at home. Running out of wood here as well. There is a clock ticking for him. I think Fire needs to keep up the pressure. Needs to keep adding in the helps. Viper still is lacking some flexibility. He's only going Paladins. Fire's gonna take this castle out now. Viper, in my opinion, just holding the score lead because he's not spending those resources. Because if you look at the military count from Fire, it's insane. But if there's one player that could come back from this, it is Viper. But still, Fire looks to be in an excellent position. Taking out that castle now. If he could raid this area, that'd be perfect from the right-hand side. Halberdiers, hand cannons, and Cavalier. Viper's still massing though. He's actually housed right now at 155, but he definitely wants to continue making Paladins. And Viper, well, sorry, Fire is researching Paladin now as well. So you have to think Viper's well behind. And this is so important for Fire. Like, he needs to, as he uses the fishing traps, I like it, he needs to actually push in and continue to push in. I talked about why you go with hand cannons and halberdiers. Viper has a lot of paladins now, so it's really wise for Fire to make some of his own. But like the halberdier hand cannon combo with the soon-to-be paladin from Fire is going to be deadly. And I don't think that was an intentional quick wall from Fire, but that actually worked out for him. But man, Viper has so many paladins! Holy shit! Are you kidding me? Viper will lose this castle, but he's gonna push Fire back again. I'm talking about how good the unit combo is, but Fire didn't have enough. He did not have enough, and again he's gonna lose his trebs. And Viper instantly is adding in ranges, so he can go with hand cannons now. Wow. And just like that, they're level on military numbers. Just like that. It was 67 to 16 like a minute ago. Paladins, fully upgraded. They're strong. You need a lot more hand cannons behind the halberdiers. And keep in mind that these cavaliers for Fire still are lacking blast furnace as that comes in. They were not paladins. That was the perfect moment for Viper. And now he's adding in hand cannons as well. What a game we have on our hands. Now, we need to talk about Fire's base. Like, he needs wood. So, I don't think Fire is in a position to push this back for the next 10-15 minutes. Viper has this wood up here. He's probably going to make sure Fire doesn't have any. And he also has wood and space down here. So I think Fire, again, needs to push in. But after losing probably 15 to 20 expensive siege units, all of his military there, I don't know if it's going to be so easy for him. Viper's stockpiling resources and timing its perfection here. Again, it's just how comfortable are you under pressure and understanding the map and what you think you should do, and Viper excelling right now. It all started with the crenellations too. That's when I was like, okay, this guy's gonna turtle up and this guy's just a smart player. I was gonna say a genius, but I think that's too obvious. So now, actually, this is gonna be a really smart move from Viper. He sent villagers this way not to check the wood line, but probably to make a transport, and to transport paladins into the eco of Fire. That's gonna be annoying. 65 to 65 military. There's gonna be a huge battle here, folks. Hand cannon's fully upgraded for Viper. Paladin's fully upgraded. Halberdier's fully upgraded for Fire. And Paladins as well. But that castle, I think, will go down unless his trebuchets can get some snipes. Looks like they're both just firing after the castles. Now, the siege onagers are really going to do some work here. Halberdiers aren't going to have much of a chance with the hand cannons behind anyway. And Viper with a nice little tidy patrol. You have to think, especially with his castle still up, Viper's going to be favored in this engagement. Meanwhile, Viper's probably going to raid, and you can see Fire abusing the market. He's struggling. Still so very close. This fight is insane. There's the transport from Viper. He's going in. You can see Fire's now at 116 villagers. We'll have to continue to watch. That Viper runs in. He's going to probably take out this castle. He's taken out all 3 trebs now. Viper's pushing Fire back, and Fire's calling the GG. Probably the moment he spotted the paladins. Like, look, it's almost infuriating. Like, I'm trying to think of it from Fire's point of view. Viper literally had 3 castles, maybe 1 or 2 traps, and a couple siege onagers. And Fire's like, you know what? I need to go Cavalier. This is the perfect move. Viper had 7k gold. He had 1 stable doing his researches, 1 blacksmith doing his researches. He wasn't creating anything. And so, I just, like, the guy's so comfortable with the game and there's so much to do. It is almost infuriating. Like, this guy makes it look so easy because he should not have won this, in my opinion. But somehow, he had it calculated to perfection. Bad luck for Fire. Man, bad. I mean, I feel bad for Fire because his counterplay was so smart, you know? He recognized when he needed to send out certain counters. Fire stalled and Viper just waited. He waited and made Fire commit. You can see the resources collected. See the military stats as well. Viper well in the lead there. Also, the Imperial Age upgrade is started in the Castle Age, and there's the Vil High, but to be honest, Fire had more for most of that game. Remember to fix the score. Actually, that's a